What's going on, Dragon Ballers? We're here with fellow Crossworld TCG human being, Logen Thornton. I don't know what to say there. But we're going to go over his top 32 Vegeta baby deck profile. So this is something he's working on the channel. You guys might have seen his deck profile from a few weeks ago, I believe. We've been tweaking it. We're working on it a little bit together. He got top 32 in the tournament after not playing in a tournament since San Jose about a year ago? 10 months ago. So pretty solid performance overall. We're going to go over his deck profile.
For sure. Vegeta baby awakens himself, untaps 2 energy, solid card. He says baby at the bottom, which is important for the rest of the deck. As I went through the tournament, I started taking my life less and less because I wanted people to actually hit me and be forced to deal damage. Because everyone was playing super aggressive, and like the matches where I was trying to play aggressive with them wasn't working out too well. And the later the game goes, the better it gets for you. Because you get to establish more and more threats.
That's kind of nice thing about the leader, right? In the deck in general, is like you can play aggro when you want to, but you can also play turtle when you want to, right?
Yeah, and the other great thing about this leader is that your opponent's stuff never stays on the board. Always gone. Always gone.
Did you run into much barrier or not so much?
No, there's not a ton of barrier right now. I mean, for the barrier, we have some options to clear the cards that they play.
Right.
But for the most part, clearing things wasn't too bad.
Sweet.
In the baby line, playing clean stacks of 4 for the first 2. And, or for the first 3, and then the 3 big monkeys to go with it. This engine is fantastic, guys.
So
I don't know,
much plus.
So plus. I mean, really, it just allows for really strong hand parity at the beginning, and then the longer this stays on the board, the more plus you go. Every turn that it stays, you get to draw a card plus clear a card, and it prevents your opponent from playing the first thing on the turn because it just kills it, which is really good. A Janemba player actually just dropped the Demon Sword into this. I don't know what he was thinking, but it died immediately, and it was great.
So two questions. Yeah. One, what is the average turn you feel like you drop the 8?
Depends on the matchup. If it was a more aggressive deck, I would hold off a little bit. I'd leave energy open for cards like Revenge Death Ball and Afterimage so that I could actually play the game. Tapping out is no bueno. It's definitely not the way. But against the slower matchups, you can get this out turn 2. Like, I got it out turn 2 like 2 or 3 times. 3-4 is the more standard number, but if you get this out turn 2 and swing for triple strike and start putting pressure on, it's really difficult to deal with.
And the other question, what is the average amount of turns the ape survived? So like basically how much value to get you across the board?
1 to 2 turns. 1 to 2 turns.
So,
I didn't even drop this every game. Like, this is just a bonus, honestly, in this deck.
Yeah.
Which I think this ratio could slim down a little bit. I think this could probably be cut for something else in the future. Maybe another chain attack target. But I saw these a lot, and I charged these a lot. Card's still really good, and you get the free draw off of it, which means it's free cycle to more cards. But these are 4-ups for sure, because they're in 3 of... I like
you really don't want to draw this one.
No, you don't. I mean, you can sometimes, because this guy says when you play it, draw a card, pop something, or minus something 20k, which is really cool. But yeah, the baby chain overall performed very, very well when you see it, you know.
Excellent.
To go with it, we got a couple Vegetas, 2 daily training, 2 digging deep. Both these cards are really good. This is a chain target that allows you to play very aggressively on your opening turns and not necessarily tap out because it'll be awakened. And the daily training is just in here because he's 1 energy less than this, which actually came up a ton. Like, at first I wasn't playing this, but I decided to put it in because sometimes you do need to just cast this for 2, draw a card. And then also because it's 10k and you're doing the play so early on, you can actually swing with this and put pressure on early with it. So he'll replace himself and do and potentially pressure your opponent. So both of these were really good. Numbers might change in the future.
Yeah, these two, like the ratios on these 2 cards in particular, we talked about a lot. Like just to figure them out, figure out what was the best. Are you kind of happy with how they were? Or would you think you would maybe add or subtract some of them?
I was happy with how it turned out. I mean, like, this deck is really red good stuff. So even if you don't see your full baby chain at the beginning, it's fine. People feel bad about swinging into this, especially if their leader doesn't have an auto that draws when they swing into this. So you can swing with this sometimes and just have it live. Right. And then this swings for just insane pressure, like 2 20k strikes, and then you absorb it into a double striker potentially. Even if you don't have full chain, is really good because you're drawing like 2 off of this, you're drawing off the baby, and you're putting insane pressure on.
Slurp that boy up.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, guys.
And then
who's that voice?
No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. 4 copies of Intensifying Power Trunks and 4 copies of Chain Attack Trunks. Like I said, you said, barrier sometimes is an issue with this deck. Chain Attack can attack actives, which deals with that problem, and it allows you to put out your Vegetas. Sometimes you got to chain attack this guy. It's okay. It's more pressure.
It's okay.
It's okay. But chaining out digging deep happens a lot. Like, when I open my hands, I would try to keep as many babies pieces as possible, and if I could, this together. Because this by itself puts on a ton of pressure. This plus this puts on a ton of pressure. plus you get to summon Baby for free, essentially. And then to go with that, we have some chain attack targets. Not a whole lot in this list. We bored into a couple more, but the main 2 targets were essentially flex picks, 2 copies of Majin Vegeta, or yeah, Glory Obsessed, Prince of Destruction Vegeta, and 2 copies of Burst Attack. I think I should have played more of this. This was pretty solid for clearing stuff because it can attack active cards, but I think I slept on the crit pressure and the hand draw that this actually has. I think that Baby that I played, the 5-drop, could actually have just been a 3rd copy of this, and that would have been very good as well. There were times when I had chain attack sitting in my hand for a while, but I typically would combo away the pieces, but having something that I could go into a little more reliably would have been good. But a lot of the time when I was chain attacking, it was for very specific reasons. It wasn't like if I saw a chain attack, I chain attack. It was, do I need to chain attack this turn, or do I need to hold it for a turn where I need to apply more pressure?
Fair enough. That's how you definitely should be thinking about this game, is doing things when it's most optimal.
Both of these were really good though. In the matchups that they weren't needed, they ended up as energy or they got sided out. No matter what, this is good because it's crit, and no matter what, this clears battle cards.
Yep.
Or battle cards.
For sure.
And then best card. This is nuts. It's nuts.
It's too good.
I was playing 4 originally. We trimmed it down a little bit because I wanted to play the red secret rare. I ended up cutting the red secret rare because if your opponent has 2 negates, you kind of cry a little bit. But for seeing hit, oh, best card. You get to count all their negates. You get to count all their combo power. You get to take their 2 best cards for the next turn. This card's absolutely insane. And when you're clearing cards constantly, your opponent's very limited in what they can do. So having something that says double strike after you've been pressuring them all game and take your play for next turn is nuts. It's probably the best red card in this game. Probably is the best red card in this game. I'll put that out there. Last 4, Bulma super combos. You awaken at 4. You self-awaken when you need to. We have cards that help us self-awaken.
No real need for sparking.
You get there pretty quick. 0 10k, important too, because sometimes you do need to combo that 10k. And then the last 8 red cards. Afterimage, RDB. These cards are great. These in tandem allow you to kill 25k battle cards, which is nuts and fantastic. And then if your Baby lowered something and then they try to swing with it because they're desperate, you just boom. Important thing to note with Afterimage, always remember to target your card and your opponent's card, otherwise someone might shark you and you don't get the combo power for it.
Someone might shark you.
Don't do it, please. Please. And then 4 copies of Revenge Death Ball. This card's really good. If you leave energy open, your opponent has to assume that you have one of these in hand or you have one of these in hand. There were times during the day where I would combo 5 into drop and leave energy open, or like just for either the bluff of sparking or because you need sparking. Even if you have no intentions of using Afterimage that turn, your opponent thinking they have to play around 25k minus on one of their battle cards is actually very huge. Also, this card is fantastic against Victory Strike because you get to go minus 10k on their thing, plus 40 on yours. So this is like basically one of the few options that Red actually has to counter the Victory Strike and combo out of it. And then the last 4 cards in the deck are 4 Overwhelm cards, 2 times choice, and a Fu. Really good early game, allows you to put on additional pressure. Draw a card. The 5k bump is essentially like another 5k, or is essentially like another card in terms of combo power, because if your opponent wants to combo out of the swing, they have to invest another card. So really strong overall. It was really easy to get 3 into the drop, or if you don't need them, you just combo them away when you want to use them. And I keep spinning the cards and I shouldn't. Scientist Fu, it was really good when I needed it. Double strike, draw 2. Fantastic flex spot if you need like a 50th card in your deck. And then the true 50th card in your deck, one of Fu Shrouded in Mystery for that Janemba Mill matchup, because oh boy is playing against 8 negates, 8 pseudo supers, just the worst thing in the world. You get your babies Mafuba'd all over the place, and this really fixes that matchup. If you draw it before they mill it, it's great. We side 1 more just to ensure that. In other long matchups like the mirror, sometimes it comes up. I was actually playing a mirror match, and I was like, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And then on turn 5, he hit me right before I was about to play this, and he's like, oh, I should take that. And he did.
I should take that.
SPRs look nice, and this card is still broke if you can get to that turn, because your opponent basically can't play.
Little last minute suggestion right there. Want to go to the side deck?
Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah. Last minute suggestion from Joey to swap out the secret rare for this card. I'm very glad I did it.
You had to get there.
I needed that shout out. I'm too vain. I needed that shout out.
In the side, we got 2 strategies and 2 Unending Awakening. hard negates, sometimes you need them, especially against more aggressive decks. The Afterimage doesn't stop Mira Creator Absorbed, and that's awful. It's actually atrocious. You need some negates for those matchups. And you're leaving energy open anyways because they're going to be playing aggressive and you can kind of just sit back. Strategies, this was okay in certain matchups. It's really good against the mirror so they can't clear your baby in response. So you can establish, play this, and your opponent has to be playing Zeno in order to clear it at that point, which is very difficult. Or they could be playing Majin Fire, but I'm going to combo out of that because my guy's bigger base. Really good card. It went in against Janemba also, so they couldn't Demon Sword my big baby. Like play a 1-drop and then summon Demon Sword to warp it. So both cards were really good. I went into most of the cards in my side. I don't know if it was necessarily the most optimal, but oh, I say that, and then here's the 2 cards that I didn't go into. Forced Ejection Massaian. I just didn't play against any Shenrons. In theory, it should be good because if they objection you, you get to essentially rip 2 energy potentially by having 2 of them. So really cool. Next 3, or the rest of the black cards, I guess I can do all at once. 2 Fu Shrouded, or Banished for Fu, 1, the second copy of Fu Shrouded, and 2 minus Killy Zone. This again was in there for the mirror because you get to clear babies. If they don't see their strategies, you want to have ways to be able to just clap back and hit them and clear their stuff. And that's really important for sticking stuff. That's really what these were in here for. I was concerned about the mirror. I figured because this deck might be reasonably popular because it did well at Europe, and then it also, because we got the new promos. And then, like I talked about, Fu Shrouded, and then these 2 cards were really good against Bloodlust decks. You Bloodlust them, and then you get to play hit. Or you minus Killy them, and then they can't Bloodlust your hit, so you get to take their place.
Yeah, the only card Bloodlust is good against right now is like red, and that card says no.
Yeah, Bloodlust is pretty decent against red right now.
It was a terrible time.
Yeah, well.
Terrible. Getting that.
And then the last 3 cards in deck were 3 Zeno. I don't know how I feel about this. In some matchups, it felt important, like the Shenron, to just take their hand away. Potentially Victory Strike too, but like there's so many cards that you want to side that I think I could have made my side a little bit more refined. Because when I was siding, it's hard to find space. Like the cards that I most often sided out were like these and these for most matchups. And really, that's like a 4-card side. Sometimes the Majin Fires, but against Victory Strike, you want to kill their 3-drop anyways. So it's a little difficult to side. I don't know if the 3 Zeno was the right call, but it was good. It needs more testing.
For sure.
Sorry, kind of rambled. And then the last card in the deck, memes, bro. Mind Control Bobbity.
Look at that nice little crossroad stamp right there.
It's broken in the Janemba matchup because you summon 2 things. I'm kidding, it says Crossworlds.
It says meme card.
It says Crossworlds. I didn't put this in my deck all day until the last round where I was like, all right, I'm going to put this in. And then I played a mirror and I was like, man, I actually want there's like 5 cards I want to side in. I'm not going to put in this Mind Control Bobbity.
So overall, why did you decide to play this deck?
Originally I think I was gonna play like some Broly height deck, and I was like, I don't really like this. It's kind of degenerate. I was thinking about Mill for a split second, but I was like, no, I don't want to play Mill. Mill is like the enemy of Dragon Ball right now. And then I was considering playing the deck that Joey's playing. Probably see that later. It was a Broly Storm variant that was very aggressive, but I didn't really want to play Mono Yellow that much. Hindsight, I probably should have. But I was very hyped on this baby, and I was excited to play it. And this deck is super fun because people are not very good at playing around this leader, and people slept on it a little too hard and didn't have nearly enough side for it. There was quite a few babies in the room. They didn't necessarily do well because the combo that you have to do is like very bricky sometimes, but I know they did well at Atlanta, right? I think that 6 were in Top Cut. 6, which is absolutely insane. It shows this deck has a lot of potential. The guy that did very well at Euros played this as well. This is definitely a power play, or power player moving into the next format. But it just has, like I said, some of these big kind of brickier cards. Things sometimes just have to go right for you to play the game as efficiently as you want to. But because you're playing red, you get to just play like good stuff.
Crazy battle cards.
Which allows you to just play the game. This is so good. These 2 cards, good on their own. The rest of the baby engine is great, but like these 2, if you have these 2, you can play the game. Or if you have this and then you go with a Vegeta into this, you can play the game because you actually get to put pressure on. Before I played the deck, I didn't realize how good it actually was, but it's fantastic. Awesome. Don't sleep on baby.
Only
Great
gets
deck.
better in set 6.
Only gets better in set. What does it get in set 6? Oh, right, we get all, that's all. All the red negate. The new red negate's actually insane.
Yeah, it actually is.
You draw so many cards in this deck that dropping a card to -2 things by 15 is fine. 100% flame. And then it makes it so your opponent has to worry about their stuff getting killed from 30k, which is even better.
So any notable matchups, final shoutouts?
Notable matchups, I lost to Mill, and then my other 2 losses were to Tim, who got 3rd place, and Joey, who got top 16.
And he beat you.
Oh yeah, and I beat Android here on this side.
that was a fun match.
Right. It was fun. It was good. It came down to it. Other than that, I got shout-outs to my boy Josh, the new best Chico. Are you not going to pan to him? I cannot believe you. The new best Chico boy. I relinquished the title because this man actually finished 2nd after Swiss, where my bum has got top 32 instead. And barely that. But yeah, Red's really good. Don't sleep on Red. This format's really cool. Like, Hero won, which was really strong. Hero was a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be, and a lot harder of a matchup than I thought it was going to be. Flame Cannon's pretty nuts. And then Red is just nuts. Like, I think everything is in a very good spot right now, except for Victory Strike. I dislike that. And Mill, and because Joey beat me with it in our match, Mira Champa needs to be banned. Not Champa, just Mira. Oh my god.
Mira's pretty good.
Mira's OP.
Alright guys, well that was the top 32 deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Thanks for watching that video. If you would be so kind to drop a sub, maybe check out some of our videos. If the end card is even there, you know, the hardest part of doing YouTube is not the editing, it's not the videos, it's not the content creation, it's that YouTube just doesn't want to work sometimes. So hopefully that stuff is there. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next one.